Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about something so powerful it can move mountains. We're talking about motivation. Not the kind you see on a poster with a pretty picture. I mean the real stuff. The kind that lives deep down inside your soul. It's that little voice that whispers, "Get up," when the world has knocked you down flat. It's the fire that burns in your heart, even when you feel cold and alone. Motivation is the fuel for your spirit. It's what turns your can'ts into cans and your dreams into your reality. It is the very essence of what makes us human, the drive to not just survive, but to truly, deeply thrive. I want to start by sharing a little piece of my own story with you all, because I believe that vulnerability is where our true strength lies. Many of you know I was born into poverty in rural Mississippi. My beginnings were not grand, they were humble and they were hard. I faced challenges that no child should ever have to face. There were times when the world felt so heavy, so dark, that it was hard to see a way out. I could have let those circumstances define me. I could have accepted that this was all my life was ever going to be, but something inside me refused to be silenced. It was a tiny flicker of hope, a whisper of a dream that I held onto with everything I had. For me, that hope came from books. Reading was my escape. It was my window to a world beyond the one I knew. Now let me tell you about a woman whose story is a masterclass in never giving up. I'm talking about the brilliant J.K. Rowling. Before she created the magical world of Harry Potter that we all know and love, her life was anything but magical. In the early 1990s, she found herself in a situation that many would see as a dead end. She was recently divorced, a single mother living on government assistance, and battling clinical depression. She has described this period as one of the darkest in her life. She felt like a complete failure. She had a dream of being a writer, but from the outside, it looked like an impossible fantasy. Imagine that for a moment. You have this incredible, world-changing idea burning inside you, a story about a boy wizard and a school of magic. But you're struggling just to make ends meet. This is where so many people would stop. This is where dreams go to die. The weight of reality can be so crushing, so overwhelming, that it's easier to just let go of the fantasy and accept the hardship as your fate. What kept her going? It was the story itself. The world of Harry Potter was her escape, just as books had once been mine. It was her lifeline. She would take her daughter for walks in her stroller, and as soon as the baby fell asleep, she would dash into a cafe and write like her life depended on it. Because in many ways, it did. The writing wasn't just a hobby, it was a form of survival. It was her way of fighting back against the darkness, of creating a world where light could triumph over evil, where love was the most powerful magic of all. The path from that cafe to becoming one of the most successful authors in history was not a straight line. It was filled with rejection. Her completed manuscript for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was turned down not once, not twice, but by 12 different publishing houses. 12 times the door was slammed in her face. What kept J.K. Rowling moving forward was an unshakable belief in her own story. She knew, deep in her bones, that she had created something special. This belief was more powerful than any rejection letter. Now let's turn our attention to a story of motivation that shaped a nation and inspired the entire world. The story of Nelson Mandela. For 27 years, this man was imprisoned for fighting against the injustice of apartheid in South Africa. 27 years. Stop for a moment and truly absorb that. Think about what that means. Decades spent behind bars, separated from his family, his people, and his freedom. He was confined to a tiny cell on Robben Island, forced to do hard labor in a limestone quarry. The goal of his imprisonment was to break him, to crush his spirit and extinguish the hope of his people. Imagine the daily struggle, waking up in the same small cell, day after day, year after year, seeing the same walls, the same bars. The physical hardship was immense, but the psychological toll was even greater. What kept a man like that going? What was the source of his motivation through nearly 3 decades of darkness? It was his unwavering commitment to a cause greater than himself. Nelson Mandela's motivation was rooted in forgiveness and discipline. He knew that if he carried bitterness and hatred in his heart, he would still be a prisoner, even if he were to walk out of the jail gates. He made a conscious decision to let go of resentment. He once said, "As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." The steps he took were deliberate and filled with intention. He maintained a strict daily routine of physical exercise. Every morning in his cell, he would follow a rigorous workout plan. He also found strength in gardening. Tending to a small plot of soil in the prison yard connected him to the earth and to the simple act of creation. It was a symbol of hope, of nurturing life in a place of despair. He also drew immense strength from his connection to his comrades. The solidarity among the political prisoners was a powerful source of motivation. They were a community of resistance. So what can we learn from the lives of people like J.K. Rowling and Nelson Mandela? What is the common thread that runs through their incredible journeys? It is the profound truth that motivation is not something that happens to you. It is something you choose. It is a decision you make every single day. It's the choice to believe in your dream when you have a stack of rejection letters. It's the choice to maintain your dignity and purpose when you are locked away from the world. These stories demolish the myth that extraordinary people are born different from the rest of us. They weren't. They were ordinary people who found themselves in extraordinary circumstances. They connected with a purpose that was bigger than their pain. For Rowling, it was her story. For Mandela, it was his people. Your purpose is your anchor in the storm. Now I want to talk to you. Yes, you. The person watching or reading this right now. Maybe you're in a dark place, maybe you feel stuck. Maybe your dream feels so far away that it seems impossible. I want you to hear me when I say this. Your story is not over. The stories of J.K. Rowling and Nelson Mandela are not just about them. They are about the potential that lies within every single one of us. You have that same strength inside of you. You have that same resilience. You have a purpose that is waiting to be discovered and lived. You are the hero of your own story, and you get to decide what happens next. You hold the pen. Your future is not written in stone. It is a blank page waiting for you. Remember the power that lies in a single moment of decision. Your life can change in an instant. It changes the moment you decide to believe in yourself. You are more powerful than you know. You are more resilient than you can imagine. Your journey matters. Your story matters. And the world is waiting for you to share your light. Go out there and live the life you were born to live. Thank you for sharing this time with me. You can do this. I believe in you.